Oh my god, okay. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a little getting to know Will type video. So one thing that's core to who I am is I'm a twin. So I have a twin brother. His name is Nicholas, or Nick. It was weird when we were growing up until about 18 or 19, we would always go by William and Nicholas. Like, I didn't like being called Bill or like Will or anything like that. It was only when I started going to college I was like, you know what? Will. I like Will. But yeah, we're twins. Apparently coming out of a vagina like a couple of seconds after a person is a weird thing to do. I need to get my head straight. So just a couple of like the boring straight off the bat questions about being a twin. We keep forgetting who's older. It's written on our birth cert, but how often do you take your birth cert out and look at it? And it's not like you get asked it in interviews or something like, so you have a twin brother. Are you older? Like, kind of defeats the point of being a twin. The second question that people always make a joke about, and I think it's hilarious, is, I didn't even do that one properly. I went like this. What am I doing? Hilarious is, if I hit him, will you feel it? When does that happen to anyone? Ever? I think that would be a bigger deal if people worked that way. If people were linked in that way. We'd have been abducted at an early age and sent to Russia to be spies or something if that was the case. If we were telepathically linked that way. And the kind of thing like, oh, can you read each other's minds? It's like, nope. Can anyone? Like, those jokes just aren't really that funny. You kind of just roll your eyes and you're like, haha, yeah. Same old, same old. But you know when those jokes are funny? When you're 8. When you are 8 years old. That is the only okay time to make telepathic jokes about twins, in my opinion. This is coming from a twin who has gotten them my whole life. One of the major annoying things was growing up when you're in school and people find out you're twins is people start trying to start fights with you because you're not gonna like ditch your brother and you're in the same year, so it's the two of you against the rest of your year or something. Or maybe like they watch too much wrestling or something and like tag teams were a thing, so they're like, ooh, a biological tag team. Let's fight them. I don't know. We got into like scuffles, a lot of scuffles, and it was shitty. I hated it. I think we both hated it. I think everyone involved hated it, except for the people instigating it. They seemed pretty into it, actually. Like when we were really young, like from like little kids until teenagers, I guess. Your twin brother, or your twin, I don't know if it's the same with sisters, but my twin brother, he was like my rival or like my nemesis. And I don't remember really getting along when we were younger. We got into a lot of like mischief. Like we would go on little adventures and stuff together, but we would always end up fighting. And it would like, I don't know if it's like an instinctive thing of like vying for dominance, but like he would always pull this thing of like, I'm kind of your big brother. And that was kind of annoying because of this like make-believe hierarchy of like the older sibling gets more respect or something. So one of them's always vying to be the older one, but it's nah. Kind of to get real for a second, I don't know if it's the same with all twins, but you do end up getting closer, especially towards the end of your teens and into your 20s or whatever. I think it's maybe because like your parents are inclined to like raise you right next to each other, rather than like, you know, your older siblings would be going through school before you, so they have their own troubles at that time, or your younger siblings starting school and they have to deal with it on their own. When you're twins, you're right next to each other. At the time, we hated it, but looking back, it was sort of like you had kind of a best friend from the get-go. You always had that one person sort of thing, your age, that you could kind of talk to. And I think because of that whole being raised right next to each other kind of thing, you're sort of just naturally on each other's wavelength, and you can kind of understand what you're telling each other, even if your words aren't fucking making sense properly. So like a lot of times when I've been like talking or I'd start rambling and I can see people starting to be like, what is this guy talking about? Nick's able to be like, oh, you mean like this thing? Or like reroute the conversation and get everyone back aboard, and it's just like, whew, kind of thing. And I think vice versa a little bit. Another thing with me and Nick that was funny growing up was I learned to read before Nick did somehow. We're not totally sure how it happened, but I got really good at reading pretty early on. And like Nick kind of struggled a bit with it. It turned into if we were ever going to see films and there were like subtitles, or if he was trying to read something and he couldn't, because we were being raised right next to each other, he could literally just like hand it over to me, I'd read it and hand it back. Or I'd be sitting next to him in fucking cinema and be like, oh, he's saying this. Oh, to the point where my parents were like, stop reading to Nicholas. Stop it. And I was kind of like, I'm just trying to help. Like, he needs to read on his own. Because if I was there, he wouldn't need to read, but then if I was there, he wouldn't need to learn to read, sort of thing. So I guess I was kind of enabling him. But even to this day, just like instinctively, I'll read stuff out to him, and he'll be like, "Grant." When you're younger, you feel like it sucks kind of sometimes, but when you get a bit of cop on and you get a bit older, you realize it's kind of the best, and it's very special, and it's a very unique thing, and I'm glad to be a twin. Closing statement, I'm glad to be a twin. If you guys have any questions about being a twin, let me know in the comment section down below. This video was kind of a cheap idea because I'm going to do another video, I'm thinking, and try talk Nick into doing a video with me. I don't know what the point of it's going to be, if we're going to answer questions or something. Yeah, let's say, alright, if anyone has any questions about my experience as a twin, or questions about twins, or twin type stuff, leave me a comment down below, or ask me over Twitter, or over Facebook, or whatever. I don't know if I can make the things pop up on the screen anymore because of problems. And sure, you know the drill with YouTube videos. If you like this video, you can let me know by hitting the like button down below. Like I was saying about comments, I'd really appreciate a couple of comments on this. Yeah, if you like this video, you could hit the share button. That's something that blows my mind when that happens. You can share it to people. But sure, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching.